Hello, everyone. Welcome to our course, Green Economy from China's Stories. In our last lesson, we learned how other countries dealt with the ecological environment issues and what experience they gained. From the experience in environmental governance, we know to learn from each other for improvement. In fact, over the past 70 years since its founding, China has embarked on a unique and feasible road in the environmental protection. Please watch a video. China's achievements in the environmental protection over 70 years.
另外，在庆祝新中国成立70周年活动，新闻中心生态环境部今天也举行了新闻发布会，介绍新中国成立70年来我国生态环境保护事业取得的成就。
那在发布会上呢，生态环境部部长李干杰介绍这70年来呢，我国生态环境在持续改善，而这是一个运用行政、法律、市场、技术等手段综合施策的结果。特别是在法治建设上呢，现在已经基本形成了以环境保护法为主体，覆盖了大气、水、土壤等主要环境要素的法律法规体系。
特别是党的18大以来，我们先后制定和修订了9部生态环境法律和20余部行政法规，号称史上最严的新环境保护法，自2015年开始实施，立法力度之大，执法尺度之严，守法程度之好，前所未有。
70年来，我国的生态环境保护已经从过去的小环保变成了今天的大环保，成效也尤为显著。在大气污染治理上，2013年到2018年，74个重点城市的 PM2.5 平均浓度下降了41.7%，单位 GDP 碳排放强度比2005年降低了45.8%。生态环境部表示，下一步还将加强重点领域立法。
我们还会大力推动包括生态环境赔偿、自然保护地、生态保护红线等方面的立法，为我们生态文明体制改革提供法治保障。
生态环境部表示，为了更好地巩固生态环保的成果，未来将继续用4年时间开展第2轮中央生态环保督查及回头看。
要继续的坚持问题导向，要敢于较真，敢于碰硬，要切实解决问题，继续坚持彻底的信息公开，来保障老百姓的环境知情权、参与权和监督的权利，推动生态文明建设不断取得新的成效。
It can be seen that China has worked hard on the road of environmental protection. We must take the road of ecological development with Chinese characteristics. China's ecological progress and environmental protection can be divided into 4 stages. First, the initial treatment of environmental problems. Second, the one control, 2 limits, environmental governance. Third, the pollutant cap control. Fourth, the development of ecological civilization. First of all, the ecological progress and issues begin with our pollution control project. A pollution incident occurred in Beijing in 1972. After careful investigation, it was found out that the fishes in Guangting Reservoir were contaminated. The source of pollution was sewage from Xuanhua, Zhangjiakou, and Datong. The central government set up a leading group to strengthen the control of pollution sources. The pollution of Guangting Reservoir was thus under control. Throughout the history of the People's Republic of China, this is the first pollution control project carried out by the state, providing invaluable experience for future pollution control and environmental governance. The environmental protection of Guangting Reservoir gave us some tips. Firstly, prevention is more important than treatment. Putting prevention first while combining prevention and control became one of the 3 major environmental protection policies in China. Secondly, start the environmental impact assessment. In 1978, the State Development Planning Commission, the State Construction Commission, the State Economy and Trade Commission, and Office of Leading Group for Environmental Protection under state control held a meeting in order to discuss the solution and determine the necessity of prior environmental feasibility study. The meeting signalized the initiation of EIA. Next, the regulations on environmental protection and improvement also played a very important role in the beginning. In August 1973, the State Council convened the first National Environmental Protection Meeting, which approved the 32-word policy on environmental protection and China's first environmental protection document, Regulations on Environmental Protection and Improvement. In 1978, at the first session of the Fifth National People's Congress, the Constitution stipulated that the state shall protect the environment and natural resources, and prevent pollution and other public hazards, which provided a fundamental legal basis for environmental protection and improvement. The decision of State Council on environmental protection issues requires executing the Administrative Leadership Responsibility System for the environmental quality, coping with regional environmental problems, controlling new pollution, accelerating the treatment of previous pollution, prohibiting the transfer of waste pollution, maintaining ecological balance, protecting and exploiting natural resources rationally, increasing investments in environmental protection, enforcing the environmental laws and regulations strictly, strengthening the environmental supervision and management, carrying out environmental research, developing the environmental-friendly industries, enhancing publicity and education, and raising the public awareness of environmental protection. These provisions are very important for environmental protection. The decision of State Council on environmental protection issues defines a 16-word strategic policy. Overall planning, rational arrangement, comprehensive utilization, turning harm into profit, relying on the masses, public engagement, protecting the environment, and benefiting the people. The Environmental Protection Law of the People's Republic of China trial lays a solid foundation. In September 1979, China enacted its first environmental protection law, Environmental Protection Law of the People's Republic of China trial. This is the first comprehensive law on protecting the environment and natural resources, and preventing pollution and other hazards. The law was adopted in principle by the Standing Committee of the Fifth National People's Congress on September 13, 1979, and was promulgated for enforcement on the same day. It aimed at the nationwide environmental protection and was implemented in trial. On March 5, 1978, the Constitution of the People's Republic of China was adopted. It clearly stipulated that the state shall protect the environment and natural resources and prevent pollution and other public hazards, confirming that environmental protection is one of the functions of the state. The Environmental Protection Law of the People's Republic of China trial aims to meet the needs of economic development while strengthening the state's management of the environment. It was formulated based on China's environmental protection work and legislative experience. This is the first stage. The second stage is the One Control, Two Limits environmental governance. The third conference on environmental protection marked a significant start at this stage. In 1989, the State Council convened the third conference on environmental protection. At the conference, the environmental protection situation was evaluated. The experience of environmental protection was summarized, and 5 new systems were proposed to promote environmental protection work to a new level. The conference also required institutional improvement, in-depth environmental supervision, combat against environmental pollution, and balanced development of economy and environment. Thank you. See you next time.